with his newborn, Jennifer. Do you think he'd be quite happy to miss out? Or do you think he'd rather be in the squad?
Oh no, I'm sure he would rather be in his squad. I know that his partner is very, very, very supportive of his hockey career. Do you know what I mean? But he hasn't, as you've already said, he hasn't really had the same sort of the same sort of exposure as he has had previous years. But do you know what I mean? He's part of our normally excellent penalty kill unit. So he does have his specialities, but you have to look at all the other names on the list. You've got people like Jack Prince, people like Liam Stewart. Even Evan Mosey's included in the squad as well. So it's a very, very, very good squad. It's a really, really higher quality. Do you know what I mean? I know that we've kind of always said it's kind of all stuck down to the same few people, but you are beginning to see new names coming in and the new names doing well, and that's just more competition. Mm-hmm. So if you are going to be selected, then you do need to be playing really, really well. I think in the case of Ben Davies, do you know what I mean? He's been stuck down in Coventry, and he's not the same way that he has done up here, do you know what I mean? But I don't think any of that Coventry team have set alight bar Liam Stewart. So it's unfortunate for Matt Haywood, but there is always next year, isn't there?
That's true. It's time for a weekly mugshot competition. As usual, we will put a picture of a current or former clan player on Twitter. If you can identify that player, reply using the hashtag mugshot for a chance to win a limited edition Purple Army podcast mug. Obviously, Alec Levitt announced his retirement, or his intention to retire at the end of this year. It's going to be a bit of a loss to the clan, Graham. He's put up point after point after point the 2 years he's been here, hasn't he?
He's been a great player for us, real points machine, skillful to watch, some real highlight reel stuff, goals, including last weekend. It's the weekend before last I meant, and he's been a great player for us, and I'm not entirely surprised. I mean, I must admit we've spoken to him a couple of times, and you kind of got the inkling that he was assessing his options, as obviously he's going to do it at this stage in his career. But yeah, he'll be a sad loss to us, and as I say, in terms of us trying to put another better performing roster together for next year, I was kind of hoping he might be one of the ones that we might keep around, but obviously that's not going to be the case now. So all the best to him. Yeah, he's been a good servant for us, and he's had a very good career, and all the best to him for the future.
Yeah, and you look at him, Jennifer, and you think, he's still got years in him yet, but obviously his family have decided the best thing for them is maybe just to go home and settle down. He does have a young child there, so we'll be sad to see him go, but wishing him all the best, yeah?
Yeah, it will be sad to see him go. If there's one person is going to score a goal and make it look really, 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 really filthy, it's going to be Alec Levitt. He's scored some absolute beauties for us over the last 2 seasons, so just good luck to him, Lindsay and Leo back over in Canada.
Yep, and I think there's one, for people that remember Jade Galbraith in his first season here, I think it's the closest we've ever come to seeing that sort of magic, the sort of artistry, the vision and the passing from a player, of that sort of calibre, Graham. I would put him right up there in terms of that, yeah.
Close, not quite at the Jade level, but almost there, not far off.
It was far better than the second season Jade we got though. So if you even Alex consistent.
You're not going to get too many arguments there, but no, I mean, just a supremely skillful player, great vision for the game. As I said on more than one occasion, sometimes it was almost as if he was maybe 2 steps ahead of everyone else, and sometimes that meant that things didn't work out too well. But adventurous player, okay, the defensive side of his play was always one of these things that attracted a bit of negative attention, although I genuinely do believe that he worked on that and by and large succeeded. But he was here to do a job, and that was to score points, and he's done that. So yeah, job done as far as that's concerned. It'd be nice to have a nice successful conclusion to the whole thing now, and I'm not talking about the Gardner Conference, so time will tell.
Yeah, and he was always friendly with us. He was always willing to come on and talk to us, and we thank him for that. Always very accommodating, and to say that as well, he has a night, expand.eu have a night with Alec Levitt, Thursday, March the 16th, 2017, 17:30, 5:30 for everybody else, at Tony Macaroni's in Braehead. He's going to be talking about dealing with team conflict. So if anybody wants to get down there, they can arrange to get tickets and get down. If you go onto Twitter, you'll be able to find it via Castillo Knight, who's also a friend of ours, who's been very supportive of the show, and he's asked us to put it out there. So if you go onto Twitter, you might be able to find more details there.
This is Alex Levitt, and you're listening to the Purple Army podcast.
We're going to have a wee look ahead, not really tempting fate, because we know we're going to have the second or third seed, but what does that actually mean to as well? It means we will play either the 7th or 8th seed, and if we look at the table at the moment, and it's really, really interesting, you've got Manchester, hold on a minute, right, I'll leave that a wee bit. You've got Manchester currently in 9th place in the table. They have, 39 points from 46 games. You have Dundee in 8th, who have 40 points from 46 games. 1 point between them. 1 point above Dundee in 7th is Coventry, who have played 2 games more. And then 45 points Fife. So they're 5 points ahead of Dundee and Manchester, and they've played the same number of games. It is looking, Graham, Jennifer, Manchester, Dundee, Coventry or Fife, that's the permutations of who we are the most likely to get. I don't think there's any way we can get anybody else. Nottingham aren't going to fall that far. We're not going to fall far enough down to get them as a 4th seed, 5th seed. So it's Manchester, Dundee and Coventry and Fife. And basically what would you think would be the best? I mean, our record against Manchester is 5-2 so far this year. Obviously we've got the game tomorrow night. We score 3.71 goals versus 2.86 to them. Dundee were 6-4. Obviously, we played them the other night. With 3.7 goals we score against them and concede 3.1. Coventry were 1-2 against with the game to come down there. 3.3 goals we score, and they score 4 against us in those 3 games as an average. Or Fife, who we are 8-1 against and score over 5 goals a game and concede less than 3. I mean, what team do you think, Graham, you would, if you could pick one of those 4 teams to get in the quarterfinals that you think would give you the best chance to make it down to Nottingham, which one do you think we play best against?
Well, if I had a choice of any team, I'd take the 2010-11 Edinburgh Capitals.
No, I said of those 4.
Because out of those 4, I mean, Fife as far as the figures go, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's the playoffs, and our track record speaks for itself. It doesn't matter who we play. We can lose to anybody. And it's a terrible thing to say, but I'm just hoping that obviously this year it's a bit of a change. We've only been successful once so far in our history, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a sort of situation where we've had Fife's number all season, and there's nothing they would love more than to get through to the playoffs at our expense. And what a motivation that would be. To me, I don't know, I'm actually thinking probably Manchester. Genuinely, probably Manchester. I think there's too much of a story that's already half written with Fife, whereby, as I say, our record against them would make them the automatic choice, and it wouldn't go our way. So I would say, given the choice, I'd go for Manchester.
I kind of agree with you. I think, you look at the records for this year and you think, God, how would you not take Fife? We absolutely own Fife this year. We've got 1 game left to play against them. Ian, we could win that, because Fife aren't particularly playing for a lot. They're almost certain to be there. Well, they're certain to be in the top 8, but jostling for position. Even if we won that and went 9-1, even though we're scoring over 5 goals a game and conceding less than 3, you're absolutely right. The story's written that they would bounce us out in the games that matter. Coventry as well as a team, I've got to be honest, I don't really want to play Coventry. I think we kind of don't match up so well with Coventry. Although the last game we played them at Braehead, we did beat them quite convincingly, and they weren't at the races. Coventry, for me, are a team that are hot and cold. But ourselves, really. I mean, we could beat anybody on a day, on a bad day, but we're poor. We've kind of knocked a bit of that consistency out. I'm hoping, Jennifer, that the last two games have just been a bit of Nottingham, I think, aside, Nottingham was that bad. We lost 5 goals in one period. Apart from that, I think we were pretty competitive. The Dundee thing, I think, is a bit of the yips. I think we've got this problem just now. We don't really have that impetus that the other teams do. But, Dundee, I think, would be a hard one. I would Manchester. I'm kind of sway with Manchester as well, and Manchester are probably my favourite team out of the 4 of them. I've got a soft spot for Manchester. What do you think yourself, Jennifer?
I think it'll be very interesting as well, because you have to remember at that end of the table, they'll want to finish 7th, they'll not want to finish 8th, because if you finish 8th, you're going to be facing Cardiff and you're pretty much guaranteed bye-bye. But as we all know, especially with the playoffs and the way that it's set up just now, any given team can beat any given team on another night. So you can never look at... I do enjoy the Fife games, do you know what I mean? But I would be really, really, really worried that there's nothing quite like... Well, there's nothing that Fife like than knocking us down from a pedestal. I'm just hoping that this season it's going to be the one where the second seed isn't the one that's knocked out, because that's obviously the last 3 years in a row it's been the Gardner winner that's been knocked out. So I'm just really hoping, regardless of who it is we play, that the team can basically get us there to the weekend.
So did you sit in the fence there, or did we get that stuff?
No, I said Fife.
Did you say Fife?
Yeah.
You would go with Fife?
I love the Fife games. They're some of the best games to watch. The atmosphere is amazing. Whether we win or not, do you mean that's a different story? But I'd rather watch good hockey.
It's just a shame. We talk about hopefully next year, maybe the year after, we'll get a best of 3 quarter final. Would be amazing. Can you imagine how many tickets you could sell for a Braehead Fife, best of 3 series? Each game would sit. Fife Arena isn't big enough for that game. We're not big enough for that game. You could probably get 5,000 plus into an arena for that game, Graham, couldn't you?
Possibly, as long as you tweet enough to your existing customers to sell enough tickets,
and don't sell tickets to away fans behind the bench.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, there's no doubt that format would suit us brilliantly, and it'd be really, really good news.
Oh, even never mind the format though. Just the Fife Braehead. I hate the 2 leg thing. I hate that 2 leg thing, but
I agree. The 2 leg thing doesn't work for me, but it is what it is. And as I say, we've got it, and it's the kind of British way of doing things, isn't it? In this type of competition. So there you go. But I think when it comes to the playoffs, it's big no matter who you're playing. Right. If it happens to be Fife, our big so-called local rivalry right now, then fine, great. But whoever it is, I don't know. I would enter it with trepidation no matter what happens. And I'll pick Manchester, but Manchester have been very, very good sometimes this season. So anything's possible.
Yep, they're all capable of beating us. Don't get me wrong. I think I would agree with you though. I think if I could pick one out the 4 of them, I would go Manchester. So I'm going Manchester. Graham's going Manchester, and Jennifer, you're going Fife because you like to live on the edge.
You're all picking tactically. I'm going for watching the good games.
It would be a game to watch and a half. It really would. I just want to finish off as well. We seem to be kind of always maybe looking on the negative things on the podcast sometimes, but the story of young Storm fan Sebastian Pitts is something that both Manchester and Belfast should be absolutely congratulated on. I take it both of you are aware of this story. You've been reading it on social media.
Watching it.
I saw the video. Yeah,
a young boy. He's approaching his 3rd birthday in June, suffering from an illness known as Lee syndrome, which is a severe neurological disorder. His bucket list was one of the things he wanted to fly and see his team Manchester on Belfast. So they've done that. They've taken him over. Both teams have given him a day. He just won't forget getting on the ice, sitting on the bench, getting into both rooms, meeting the players, getting jerseys, getting photographs. You name it. Both teams done everything they could to give him a day that he'll never forget. And sometimes we always get lost in the moaning and the grumping and the groaning. That's a hockey family, and that's what it's all about. That's what it all comes back down to. And there are teams doing these sort of things day in, day out, and we maybe don't always highlight it on the programme. So I think I just wanted to kind of finish on that and congratulate both the Storm and the Giants for doing that. And I think with all